Richard Goodall, a humble janitor from Toyote, Indiana, has captured the hearts of millions worldwide with his extraordinary singing talent. His journey to fame, however, was far from easy. Growing up with limited resources and facing many challenges that could have discouraged him, Richard never lost sight of his passion for music. His unwavering dedication and perseverance helped him defy the odds, proving that dreams can come true with enough determination and belief in oneself. From his modest beginnings to his viral audition on America's Got Talent, Richard's story serves as an inspiring reminder of the power of dreams. His love for music started early in his childhood. In the small town of Toyote, Indiana, he would often retreat to his bedroom, singing along to his favorite songs on his old Radio Shack stereo. Even at a young age, music gave him comfort, hope, and the spark of a dream, one that would stay with him for the rest of his life. During high school, Richard joined the school choir, where he began refining his vocal skills and discovered a deep love for performing. As he grew older, he joined a gospel choir, singing with them for 8 years. This experience gave him an outlet to share his voice with others, bringing him joy and fulfillment. However, when the pandemic struck, the choir was forced to stop its performances, leaving Richard without his beloved musical outlet. But for him, music was never just a hobby, it was a way to connect with others, express himself, and bring happiness to those around him. Despite his passion for music, life brought responsibilities that made pursuing a musical career seem impossible. Financial constraints made attending college out of reach, so Richard took a practical path and accepted a job as a janitor at Chauncey Rose Middle School. Initially, he viewed it as just a job, a way to pay the bills rather than a fulfilling career. However, as time passed, Richard poured his heart into his work, finding joy in transforming routine tasks into acts of kindness for students and teachers alike. For 23 years, he dedicated himself to his role, not just by keeping the school clean but by creating an uplifting and positive environment. His warm personality and caring nature made him a beloved figure in the school community. Though his job seemed far removed from his musical aspirations, Richard never let go of his passion for singing. He became known as the singing janitor, filling the school hallways with his powerful voice as he worked. Students and staff were moved by his talent, and their admiration and encouragement rekindled his confidence. "I just like making people smile and have fun," Richard said, explaining how music allowed him to help others escape their troubles, even if only for a few moments. He began performing at school events, including Veterans Day ceremonies, where his renditions of patriotic songs like God Bless the USA deeply touched those who listened. Where some might have seen his janitorial role as a dead-end job, Richard saw it as an opportunity to inspire and teach young students. "Being a janitor gives you a certain platform. The kids love you, and you can teach them small things that matter in life," he shared. Beyond his job at school, Richard kept his musical dream alive by performing with a local band, Manop Pars. The band played at local bars and community events, allowing him to share his voice with a broader audience. Though life's responsibilities were demanding, his love for music never faded. No matter how difficult things got, he continued to find ways to keep singing. Encouraged by his students and community, Richard finally decided to take a leap of faith and audition for America's Got Talent in 2024. Despite experiencing rejection in the past from both AGT and The Voice, his students' unwavering support gave him the courage to try once more. Stepping onto the AGT stage was a surreal experience for Richard. Before him sat the iconic panel of judges, Simon Cowell, Sofia Vergara, Heidi Klum, and Howie Mandel. As nerves began to set in, Simon's encouraging words shake off those nerves. "We're rooting for you," helped him focus. As he launched into his powerful rendition of Don't Stop Believin', the judges' initial skepticism melted away. Simon nodded in approval, Heidi clapped with enthusiasm, and Howie smiled warmly, each of them recognizing Richard's immense talent. The audience erupted in applause, rising to their feet in a standing ovation as he finished. Tears streamed down Richard's face as the overwhelming realization sank in, his dream was finally within reach. Simon's heartfelt words struck a chord, "You are my hero because that was special, genuinely special. I think America is going to love you." Howie added, "You cleaned up the performance," filling Richard with pride. Then came the most unforgettable moment. Heidi Klum, visibly moved, stood up and declared, "You knocked me off my feet, and now this is what I'm going to do for you because I love you." She then pressed the golden buzzer. Golden confetti rained down as Richard stood in shock, overcome with emotion. This moment catapulted him into the national spotlight, bringing his lifelong dream to life in the most unexpected way. Though thrilled, he felt a pang of sadness, wishing his fiancée, Angie, could have been there to witness it. Unfortunately, financial constraints had kept her from attending the audition. The video of his golden buzzer moment quickly went viral, with fans from around the world celebrating his triumph. Proud students flooded social media with tributes. One wrote, "I can't express how lucky I feel to say I'm one of the kids who always told him how amazing his voice is." Another shared, "He is the janitor at my twin school, and we were all crying tears of happiness for Mr. Richard. He is so deserving of this." Richard's performance reminded the world that extraordinary talent can come from the most unexpected places. His story became a symbol of hope, perseverance, and the courage to believe in oneself. As the applause died down and the cameras stopped rolling, Richard reflected on his journey. "I couldn't help but cry," he shared with producers. "I'm just a regular person, the guy that wipes down tables and takes out the trash." Thinking back to his childhood days, singing along to his old stereo, he realized that his dream had finally come full circle. Back home, the Teyote community rallied around him, overflowing with pride. Local news outlets shared his story, and his journey became a beacon of hope for others. Richard's bandmate, Tom Greenberg, wasn't surprised by his sudden fame. "I knew that was coming. He deserves it. He's just so good, especially on a journey song. He's the best of the best." Despite his newfound success, Richard faced another challenge, the financial burden of traveling back to America's Got Talent for the next stage of the competition. As an ordinary janitor, the costs of plane tickets, accommodations, and other travel expenses were overwhelming. Just when it seemed impossible, Chris Bonn, a fellow Teyote resident, stepped in to help. Chris launched a GoFundMe campaign, urging the community to support their hometown hero. "Let's give Teyote's AGT Golden Buzzer winner our support." Richard traveled to the first competition alone on his first ever flight. This August, he returns for 10 days to compete at the next level. Your generosity will help him have a worry-free experience with family to accompany him. The response was extraordinary. The campaign, launched on May 30, 2024, quickly gained momentum and hit its target by July 19, raising an impressive $9,000. The overwhelming support reflected just how deeply Richard had inspired those around him. Despite his rise to fame, Richard remained humble. "How could I possibly become a diva? I'm just a regular guy," he said, staying true to his down-to-earth nature. His audition video skyrocketed to over 19 million views on YouTube, making it the most-watched video of the season. Yet, behind the scenes, his journey was about more than just fame. It was about resilience, kindness, and the power of believing in oneself. For Richard Goodall, the journey was never just about reaching the spotlight. It was about touching hearts, inspiring others, and proving that even the most ordinary lives can hold the potential for extraordinary dreams to come true. Richard Goodall's story is one of resilience, community support, and the power of following one's dreams against all odds. From heartbreak to stardom, his journey to America's Got Talent is nothing short of inspiring. His rise to fame is a powerful example of perseverance, unwavering self-belief, and the refusal to give up on a dream, no matter how many obstacles stand in the way. At his age, many might have resigned themselves to a routine life, but Richard continued to chase his passion with fierce determination. The opportunity to audition for America's Got Talent wasn't just a chance to showcase his talent, it was a lifelong dream coming to life. In 2009, filled with hope and excitement, Richard took a bold step and auditioned for America's Got Talent. He was eager to show the world what he could do, but fate had other plans. His dream was crushed when he didn't make it past the first round in Chicago. The heartbreak and disappointment weighed heavily on him. It felt like a devastating blow, as though all his years of singing and honing his skills had led to nothing. Yet, after a period of reflection, Richard found the strength to rise again. He reminded himself that setbacks could often lead to greater opportunities and decided he would not let failure define him. With renewed determination, he set his sights on another popular show, The Voice. Hopeful that this time would be different, Richard submitted a video of himself passionately singing Don't Stop Believin. He had performed the song countless times, receiving praise from friends, students, and even strangers online. Surely, this performance would finally be his breakthrough moment. However, once again, rejection struck. An email arrived stating, "Thank you for auditioning in our virtual open call. Unfortunately, you will not be moving on to the next round." The words stung. He had given his best, and still, it was not enough. This rejection felt even harsher than the last, leaving him questioning whether he was truly meant to pursue a career in music. The contrast between the praise he received on social media and the rejection from major talent shows was confusing and disheartening. Feeling vulnerable, Richard took to social media to express his frustration. He wrote, "Just so everyone knows, I'm worthy of The Voice, but I'll try for AGT. Regular people just don't cut it in this world. Love you all for your support." His words resonated deeply with his followers, sparking an outpouring of encouragement. Fans rallied behind him, insisting that he was more than good enough. "It's not that you're not talented enough," one supporter commented. "They just want a young, classic standard." Another added, "Biggest mistake The Voice ever made. You are incredible." The support meant everything to Richard. It reignited his belief in himself and reminded him why he loved singing in the first place. Encouraged by his students, who admired and believed in his talent, Richard decided to give his dream one last shot. He auditioned once again for America's Got Talent, stepping onto the stage with the weight of past rejections behind him but also carrying the hope of all those who had cheered him on. Little did he know that even before he took the stage, his voice had already begun making waves across the internet. His rendition of Don't Stop Believin' had gone viral, and the world was starting to take notice. In 2022, at Davis Park Elementary School, excitement filled the air as students and teachers gathered for the 5th grade graduation talent show. What was meant to be a simple school event soon became a life-changing moment for Richard. After all the students had performed, the teachers asked him to take the stage. Normally, he sang God Bless the USA by Lee Greenwood, a song that always touched hearts. But this time, he chose Don't Stop Believin', a song that had carried him through his lowest moments and continued to inspire him. Dressed in his usual work attire, Richard took a deep breath and stepped into the spotlight. As the opening chords played, his powerful voice filled the room, captivating everyone present. The students, though too young to fully grasp the song's deeper meaning, waved their arms and cheered in excitement. Among the adults in the audience, a woman gasped, "Oh, God," her reaction mirroring the surprise in the room. The janitor they saw every day, the man quietly going about his work, had a voice that could rival professional singers. Mariah Dean, who worked with a special needs student at the school, was so moved by Richard's performance that she recorded it and uploaded the video to TikTok. The next day, Richard was shocked to learn that his performance had amassed over 100,000 views overnight. By the end of the week, the video had crossed 1 million views. People were amazed by his voice. "I've never had this kind of response," he admitted, struggling to process the sudden surge of attention. "I don't know what to think." The performance changed everything. Suddenly, Richard found himself in the spotlight, capturing the attention of some of the biggest names in the music industry. Among them was Steve Perry, the legendary lead singer of Journey and the co-writer of Don't Stop Believin'. Perry was so moved by Richard's rendition that he tweeted, "I love this," and shared the video on TikTok. Richard, who had long admired Perry's work, was overwhelmed with gratitude. He replied with a heartfelt message, "I love your music, sir. Thank you for commenting. This means so much to me." As if that wasn't enough, the official Journey TikTok account reposted Richard's performance, further amplifying his growing recognition. Then came a shocking moment. Howie Mandel, a well-known comedian and judge on America's Got Talent, reacted to the video, exclaiming, "Richard needs to be on AGT." It was surreal. Richard initially doubted whether the reaction was real, but once he confirmed it, his excitement knew no bounds. It felt like the universe was finally aligning in his favor. The opportunities kept pouring in. Richard received an invitation to perform with Rudy Cardenas, a finalist from American Idol, at a special event on August 27, 2022. The idea of sharing the stage with a former Idol contestant was unbelievable to him. When the day arrived, he and Rudy delivered an unforgettable performance. Before they began, Rudy introduced Richard in a way that touched the audience's hearts. "If you dream it, you will have it," they reminded everyone. It was a moment Richard would never forget. His newfound fame also had a positive impact on his band, Manop Pars. The group had struggled for years to get gigs, but suddenly, local bars were booking them every weekend. Audiences were blown away by Richard's stage presence and vocal talent, showering him with applause. "And just like that, we are booked every weekend in July," Richard excitedly shared on Instagram. "Huge thanks to the Broken Rock Band for their hard work and our manager for securing the gigs. See you Saturday night at Arch's Sports Bar at 7:30. Don't miss a note." Despite his rising fame, Richard remained the same humble, down-to-earth person he had always been. He often reflected on how his love for music had started in childhood, singing along to his favorite artists on the radio. With no formal training, he had relied purely on passion and determination. His goal had never been just to perform. He wanted to inspire others, especially his students, to believe in themselves and chase their dreams. Yet, behind his viral success and AGT audition lay a tragic story of love and loss. For 3 decades, Richard had been happily married to Patricia Sue, his supportive and devoted wife. Their love story was filled with laughter, shared experiences, and a deep connection. However, life took a cruel turn when Patricia was diagnosed with cancer. She fought bravely, but the disease ultimately claimed her life, leaving Richard heartbroken. In an emotional Instagram post, he shared his grief and the pain of losing his beloved wife. As time passed, he slowly found the strength to move forward. In 2022, he introduced his new partner, Angie, on social media, sharing a picture of them together and expressing his happiness. It was a testament to the enduring power of love and human connection, even in the face of unimaginable loss. Richard's journey from a humble janitor to a global sensation is proof that dreams can come true, no matter where you start. His story is one of resilience, hope, and the incredible power of never giving up.